Okay, hi everybody doing? Tech channel here. So this is Always Voice Tech. So I did a video about the different ISPs. Mm-hmm. The cable company, the FiOS. I trained to be a FiOS technical support rep. I did that a couple of years ago. I learned all about FiOS, so I know what to expect. I personally wouldn't have that in the house, but a lot of you do, and there's nothing wrong with it. But a lot of issues with that device, and I did explain to all of you what the issues are. So now the hottest thing now is it looks like one of these. It's the closest thing I can talk, but it's a square box. T-Mobile has one. What's the other one have? Oh yeah, and now Walmart has one for $99 with 45 prepaid plan on their smart, whatever it's called. I really don't know on that stuff. I wouldn't buy it. You gotta understand, anything for Walmart is gonna be less quality. Now, I contacted Verizon this morning and I talked to them. They have a little regiment. So you talk to, hi, this is so-and-so. I know I won't mention names, but he's, hi, so-and-so, how you doing today? Isn't today splendid day? I know he's not in America, but it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is that his job is to make sure you can have the box in your house for the 5G. I told him what I wanted, and I wanted to set the site. It's very confusing. But I figured it out, and I talked to him. I said, hey, I want to get the 5G box. So what is involved and what's going on? And he said, we only have the two things. We have the wireless and we have the fiber. Then he connect me to somebody else. Now, the next person is sales. He too oversees. He don't have much information. We're on this channel, you all should be technically inclined like me. You should be asking a lot of questions. That's how you know technology. You learn from those higher up, and that's what I did. These people higher up, they have no certification, and the certification is a lot of, I shouldn't say BS, but you really don't need it because a lot of, say you had 5 years experience on the job, and that guy, he just got his certs, but he read the book where you hands-on. The hands-on you would make more money than he would, and the reason why that would be because you already know what you're doing. All they care about is what you know you're doing. That's why I have this. This is my network. This was down on the ground in the back of this couch. I don't really have much. See, I didn't have much options because the way the cabling coming into the house for the modem. See, the modem is there. That's the modem. Okay, that's my NAS. That's hey Google. I have Alexa too. It's on the ground. I don't have it hooked up because I don't have Prime. Sometimes I turn on Prime just to order something, but that's another story how they do that. But so this is a mini rack. This is a mini rack, right? Because I have no need for no large rack in his place. Now, why I got a mini rack? Because you have a console cable goes in there, and the console cable goes in there, and you hook it up to a laptop. Do you know how much money tech jobs pay to get somebody to come in? They say switches down. Network printers down, any of these that you have to plug into a laptop with a console cable, USB console. I have one of those. I have the other kind too. Actually, these two came with the console cable, which is not bad. This is a managed layer switch, so this has extra protection. It's for the web and all that. Where you up there is the dual VPN, right? 2 WAN wireless area network with 3 LAN ports there. Also have the ports. So these are business class routers. These are metal. They have no fan in there. Either the dual core, but I had them since 2012. Yeah, I know we're in 2023, but they're still working. But that company supported it for 5 years. They're not cheap. They're expensive. Because before that, when I came back down here, because I had another house. Well, my ex had it. Okay. And I had a network closet. But I never put a rack in there. I have pictures of that if anybody want to see. I might have it on this channel. And I had the whole house wired with these white 3-way antennas. Basement, main level, second level. I know it's a 2-floor house, but it had a basement. The basement was finished. And one of the closets I turned into the network closet. If you went in that closet, you would see a whole bunch of HP inkjet printers because it was cheaper to buy the printer than buy the ink. It was $39 to buy an inkjet printer. It was a high quality, so it wasn't cheap. It was $39 to buy the printer. It would cost you $89 to buy the ink. So what was better? So yeah, I had a stack of these printers. Yeah, I left those behind. Couldn't take them here. What would be the point? They'd be obsolete today. I had a whole bunch of computers. I had 10 or more computers, mostly desktops. I left a lot of equipment behind. I had a whole bunch of laptops. I had a guy that has, let's say he had sticky fingers. What I mean, he went to big companies and he took the laptops that they were getting rid of, where you're supposed to send it to surplus. But he walked out with them. Nobody stopped him. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Same thing with RAM. If the client says, hey, you can have this RAM. I said, are you sure? The manager had to say, are you sure? They gave me RAM for free. I had they can't let a little RAM can out of the computers, and they worked great with mine. I had Pentium 2 had a cartridge. You plug it in. I had those computers. I had the cartridge. I had Pentium 3, had the next cartridge. Yeah. I turned those computers into servers, running Windows Advanced Server to Windows 2000. We're going back with them. And that Windows NT. Windows NT, I worked on it in different companies. Then we went to 2000 and 2000 Advanced Server. I used to like 2000 Advanced Server. It was pretty cool. I mean, yeah, they were pretty good. And they had the house, see that with the server now, it's always running. The electricity bill is high. But I didn't really care back then. So this is a NAS, Network Attached Storage. They also had an SA storage, storage access system. NAS, Network Attached Storage. No, so it was a storage attached. There was an SA one too. I forget. I never had one of those. I forget. They run a little different. But this one's on the network. That runs Linux. That's a Simba SBMB. It shows up in Windows client. Windows have it turned off though. But so I only used to have only 1 gig or 2 gig in there. I have a 4 terabyte in there. Got it to work in there. Because this guy, he gave me these 8 drives. This guy locally here, I was working with him on a project. He said, hey, you want a server? Yeah, but it was just a case, but it had brand new drives. It was a server to use. There were purple WD drives. I don't know if I have one around. I would show you. I think I've showed you before. Western Digital purple drives. Those are for video surveillance. They had surveillance camera. He kept the cameras, but he couldn't use the hard drives for anything else with that. If you just, all you have to do is re-image the drive, but you can't use it as an MBT, master boot table. You have to use it as, I think it's a GPT or something like that. Then you can use it as a storage. So you would have your SSD, and you would have this drive for storage. That's what I'm using in that. Works perfectly in that. You won't notice the speed. It doesn't spin at 7,200 RPM. I could put SSDs in there and run it off that, but those SSDs are expensive. But I don't know if they might be cheaper now. I hope you don't mind. Hey, Google, turn on the living room fan. It's getting hot in here.
Got it. Turning on the living room fan.
She has an Aussie accent. I gave her an Aussie accent. I like the Aussie better than... I had American. I had Amber. But I changed it to that. It's good. So you might hear the fan in the background. It's hot. I'll turn it off a little later. So, before all this, I had this $200 Cisco Link System. This is when Cisco took it over. So this has 6 antennas. So you have 3 inside, and you have the 2 out there. I put down TP-Link, because I have a lot of TP-Link products. So I use their antennas. These are 5 dBi antennas. Well, this came with 5 dBi antennas, but I used to have antennas that tall too. I left all that behind. Don't really need it. So I got this here, but this is obsolete now, and it doesn't work anymore. This only goes up to this 802.11 N and yeah, and 5 gigahertz. It's dual band, but it only goes up to it's 450. Yeah, for 900. That's it. That's the max on this. It's obsolete. It still works though, but it's not too reliable like it used to be. It always overheat, so it was good for the time. And this has 12 volt. This actually works with 12 volt. So we got rid of that. We replace it with that. I decided I'm tired of dealing with these plastic routers. And we moved up. And then I got that. But then I wanted to upgrade. I think that's this dual core 64-bit. This one here is from Google. Made by the same people who make that and make that. Ugh. It looks like this. This has a built-in speaker, blue. This is quad-core processor with 1 gig of RAM, 13 antennas, but 13 different amps. It run off cloud. Now, since February 11th, they stopped supporting this, right? So I got screwed. A lot of us. But there's a site called OpenWRT. That's more Linux. If you're good with Linux and you have a machine running Linux, then you can upgrade. Because I tried to overwrite the mod, and then you have accesses, and you can use this again. And you can pick that up and say goodbye to that, and you have a quad-core system. But this, I was getting out of my 1.2, I was getting 600 down. But this kept on telling me what was happening with the network. But everybody's getting the same thing now. It's a shame. Even on your these 5G gateways. Xfinity has one too, as well. By the way, if you know, they claim theirs is 10G. Hey Google, turn off the living room fan.
Got it. Turning off the living room fan.
See, she don't make that noise. She just go beep doop. Then I know she heard me. Yeah. It's better with this like this because it's cooler. It's easy to get to. I didn't have to bend over to work on it. It was silly, but I had to move my cables. But now the houses have an access point up there, a business access point. Then we have another business access point. I took videos, but I didn't feel like kind of sharing it because it's a little hard to see. So we have both access points. I say from here to there, it should be, is it 10 feet apart? 10 feet. Could be 10 or 20 feet. I should really measure it. I think it's about 25 feet apart. You have to keep them a certain part. Okay, so this one up here, it does all of this side of this house. From down there. So it's like that. Then the other one does the other side of the house. You have to have two. I don't care, it tells you 1,500 square feet. You know, it's not going to, that's maybe when they were testing it. But in the real world, it's a different story. Because, like, for instance, I have central air conditioning. The air conditioning unit, the air handler is right there. If I put the access point in the other room, and that room is full of metal, it's not going to get out. So I have to keep it outside that area. So it can do this section. Because I walk around with the app. It's called Wi-Fi Analyzer. I've been using that for years. That guy, he never even bothered with ads. Now, they put all these guys gone to ads. But, hey, you know, what are you going to do? When you root the phone and you root your tablet, you can get rid of ads. but there's ways of doing things. You change your NDS. Yeah. I use different NDS. That's, well, they would call that domain name systems. But you can, in your router, you should have settings to change the NDS from the ISP. A lot of, like the Google would use Googles, I think it's 888s, and there's others that use 1111. You want to change that, and you have IP6. That route, this one here, support IP6. You don't have a generic one. Some of them use generic to blend it because it really doesn't support it properly. But that router did. This is not a bad router if you can get it working again. Well, I'll try. It's a shame. It relied on the cloud, but some people use like a regular router. I'll have to put Linux on one of the laptops that I have at like the netbook. Just put it on and like with a dual boot or something like that, if I want to do that, and then try to get that going, or just get another router. But this is working. Okay, so back to this stuff here. So my internet provider is supposed to have what Verizon has. It's a cube. T-Mobile has this little 5 modem and 5G and router and wireless router all in one, and they're giving you two for free for $50. If you have T-Mobile account, then you can get it really reduced to 30 or even lower than that. It depends, and you really don't have to pay for it. The one that you buy one you buy at Walmart, you have to buy for $100. I never seen that one at Walmart, by the way. So that means it's a very limited number of places that have it. But Verizon said I could have mine. It would be shipped here. No cost, no out of pocket. It will cost me $50 because I don't have a Verizon phone. He said if I had the Verizon phone, it'd be a lot cheaper. It'd be like $30 or a lot lower than that, depending on what I had. That's nice to know. Now, I thought about getting it to try out for myself to see. But I told him I don't have a second level. I have an attic. I'm going to go up there. It's too hot in the summertime. You die out there. You sweat. You feel like you're in a hot sauna. So I would like to get it. I know some people drive around and, hey, look at my signal strength is good. Yeah, wherever you are. Well, not enough people are using it yet. If more people knew about it, then they would jump on it. But the problem with that is when it rains. You forgot, when it rains, when a snowstorm, a hurricane, that tower out there, that's the drawback with that tower. Just like you have an antenna on the roof. Just like you had a satellite on the roof. You know? What happens? The signal is bad. You know that with Dish TV, and I don't even know if the other ones are around. What was the other one called? I can't remember. I never had those things. I just know people had a lot of problems with them. Yeah, a lot of in-laws had it. It's great in the summer. My tower, it's about half a mile, maybe, or less, a quarter of a mile. I don't know. I would walk there. I used to take my phone right to the tower. Right there. The tower's right. Here's the tower, and I'm right here, parked. To see if the signal hit 5 bars. Yeah, hit 5 bars. As soon as I drive away, it goes down to 3. So when I had T-Mobile, I had T-Mobile service, and I had the cell phone booster. I put in a utility room because it's too powerful. It gave me migraines. That's not good to have. That's a lot of radiation hitting you in the head. You can, I don't know, it's some side effects. It's not good to have that in the house. They say put it up in the attic. I put it everywhere. The only place it worked in one part of the house. And that was it. That's what. And it did. And then you put one goes at one part of the house and the other one goes near glass. And the thing was, it was supposed to give you 5 bars. Another way to get around that is to buy an RV antenna, stick it on top of your antenna that you have. I have dual antenna for TV. Mine's perfectly clear. I don't bother with ISP, with their TV services and stuff like that. But that's the way I have mine. Okay? If I had, now I can't get the T-Mobile, but I don't want to go the T-Mobile way. I would go with Verizon because Verizon is a higher tier. Because you know that Verizon is higher. Then comes AT&T. Then comes T-Mobile. T-Mobile was a prepaid service, and they were at the bottom with old Cricket and the rest of them. Whatever's left today in Metro PCS. So T-Mobile took over Sprint, which was a higher tier, and they took over Metro PCS, and they got the Sprint, they got the Metro PCS. I think there's another thing they had too, but I didn't like T-Mobile because I had a lot of problems with them. They had this plan for me, and they keep raising it. It went from 50 to 60 to 90, and I couldn't get a deal. One of the worst companies. Then I found my cable company had a mobile service. They're using the Verizon network, so I'm happy with that. But I wanted to know if they had something that the others were doing, and she told me today. I talked to billing. I talked to another person. I called the mobile tech department. He said that we don't have anything that side. So you have to go to the internet side. So I went to the internet side, and they have something, but it's not what they say it is. So it's what the whole thing is. The third party told me they have a box. The plans run from 25 and up to 80, and it's there's none of that gap problem. The 1.2 terabyte. The 1.2 terabyte might be good for a lot of people, okay? But if you're gonna get on YouTube, make YouTube videos, and you're gonna upload HD or 4K or higher, you have 8K. Well, I don't really know if these people YouTube is really supporting 8K. It's bad enough I can get 5.1 Dolby Surround, but I can't get my 7.1 True HD sound or Atmos. Well, that's another story. But like I said, if you're doing a lot of uploads like I'm doing, because I have other channels, I have a whole bunch of channels. You see them at the bottom. I did that during the pandemic. Hey, I could do it. Okay, it's me. And I learned a lot and I'm also a healer, so I can take my healing abilities on my Reiki channel, Reiki with Albert. Check that out if you have problems. Okay, but I'm just letting you know that's what that channel is for. Then we have another channel, ASMR, for helping you sleep and feeling good about yourself. That's what that's for. Then we have dating coach. I do dating coach. Oh yeah, I used to do that online. I used to help people with their problems, but sometimes it gets overwhelming. So now I just do videos, and I wrote a book. Oh, you guys didn't know? I also have a music channel too. Yeah, I got my music distributor, but it's a long story. Hey, we all got to do something, all right? But the tech is what I do for a living, and that's why I have this here, so I can learn and get better jobs paying a lot of money. The jobs pay a lot. They pay over $50 an hour. But they're set prices. They might say, we'll pay you $1,000 or $150 or $300 to go in and set up a network. Can you set up a server? A server, like a blade. They have a blade that would go into a rack. That thing's heavy. You need 2 people. So some companies have a device that you can crank it up, and it lift up the server, and you push it into the rack. You don't lift that thing by yourself. And if they don't have that, I wouldn't take work like that, because you can hurt your back. And you might say, hey, when you wear a back strap, this is not Amazon warehouse or FedEx or all that stuff, because you have to wear a strap and around your belly and keep your back up. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your back and pull it. I dislocated myself working in one of these warehouses, sorting packages. You got to do what you got to do. I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. You should do that job if you're 18 to 30. I wouldn't recommend it to 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old. It's crazy. It's too much work. It's harsh. There's no air conditioning in those warehouses. And you're working in those warehouses in the hot sun. They have a big fan company makes a gigantic fan. Oh my goodness. It's like a propeller plane blade. Huge on the ceiling spinning. But they don't set it, they don't spin it fast. Then they have vents to take out the hot air. You need air conditioning. Why is it so cheap? Company make a lot of money. You can't put the fans up there. Go work in a warehouse that has air conditioning. You're struggling. It's too much. I see clear. But okay, if you guys want to get, you can get the Horizon. Try the Horizon. Okay, and I think they have a 3-year plan. The price is guaranteed 3 years. I think he told me that's what it is. It's guaranteed three years, and it's gonna cost you what, $50? But it works better the closer you are to that tower. I'm in between. They're like this. They're not. I'm the towers. You don't want the tower too close to you. That's a lot of radiation coming out of that, because that it's going to. It's always on. Those towers go down. They're always updating the software. I'm surprised they got 5G on that stuff. I hope to get the satellites, and that's what Elon Musk is doing with the satellite phone. That's much better than a cell tower, because satellites relies on the space. The other one relies on these towers that have to be precisionally put. And a lot of these towers were put up after homes were built. Yeah, so I live in farm country. All here is farm. But all these farms were turned into communities. So they can't put the antenna up any place. We really need a tower nearby. And we're going to put it in the park. It's crazy. Yeah, so we did. Now, if there was a tower like 2 or 4 blocks up, but you don't want that on top of you there. If they hide it, the radiation out of that's too much. A magnetic field, I should say. And I used to drive from here to the west coast of the state, and I'll be driving along and be talking on the cell phone, and cuts out. Because they didn't put another. There's nobody living out there, so now they're not gonna put up an antenna if there's nobody living out there. You see what I mean? So you have to wait until you get to the next tower. Could you imagine you live out there? You would have problems with the cell. A lot of people live far away. They don't have no internet. They rely on cable. If cable's not in their area, they're kind of screwed. They have to wait for the satellite system. So once Elon Musk have the satellite going up there, the Starlink system, You know, a lot of things would change. Cable companies gonna have to scramble because I know the cable company I'm with, they're gonna release full duplex. So full duplex means if you got 300, 300 up, just like with the fiber. But the fiber can't give it that. You have to use the ONT box. Everything feeds into the ONT box, and the ONT box needs a battery backup, and it needs a lot of stuff, and it fails a lot. You know, you have digital phone, you have fiber phone. It's really digital coax, but it says fiber in the back. Okay, so that's the way it works. But a lot of you have that, and you have a lot of problems. You know how many people call every day over same issues over and over again? I was your best friend if you called me. Oh, I'll send you, what you got? I'll replace all your DVRs, no charge. I'll dispatch a tech and he'll come and bring it if you're old and you can't hook them up. Yeah, I'll replace your remotes. Yeah, I'll have a tech come out there and help you with it. Yeah, that's what I did. It was the easy way out. I was trying to figure out these things. It was too much. No, I figured out stuff, but it took some features away from me. I figured out the digital phones I could fix it on my end. Easy. A lot of people have the same guy calling up all the time, same problem every day. Same people calling about their collection. I had a guy who had a multi-million-dollar house. It was in a mansion, right? And he was calling up, and he was paying $4,000 a month for his fiber connections and stuff like that. And he was always complaining. I told him, listen, I'll replace everything you got and send you new equipment. I'll have a dispatch and a tech will come out there. Are you available the next day? He said, the tech can come out there, according to this, it'll come out by 5 o'clock. Okay, and he'll stay there, and you can keep him there. Make sure it's working. Don't let him go. Don't you dare. Stay on top of him. And a lot of people don't stay on top of these techs when they come to your house. You should stay on top of them. I mean, you don't have to be in their face. But you should know what they're doing and if they're doing it correctly. And let them test and let them show you what your signal is. So those are used for cable and for fiber. That's what you should do. Okay? Now with this little box you get at home, get it. Try it. $50. You can try it out for a while. You can test it out. See what works for you. Keep your other cable system, your file system, whatever you got, and compare. Run it. I don't say turn everything on, because everybody knows you turn everything on to get into this grade. So I have 1 gig service, okay? 1 gig, so it's 20 up. Whoa, 20 up. I had the 1.2, but I wasn't getting really 1.2, and I was not getting the full 40 up. So I was getting like someplace between 30 and 20. So now I'm getting 20, 25. I really need to pop that box out there and see what he put in there, because that was a way to boost the signal or get better. I don't know what he did. I didn't really. I know he ran new line to it. He ran a line directly in here. Use the orange cable, and he ran it here. Can you imagine when he was here? He said, "Hey, can you push the wire through?" No, I'm not doing that. You're doing that. That's what you're here. He was business. He was the business department, the business one. He was a business level 4 tech, you know. And he'd been there for 11 years. It was all right. It was friendly. He didn't. Hope he didn't. He said, "I said, you're not going to charge me for this stuff." No. Okay, hope not. But he told me a lot of stuff that he wasn't supposed to tell me. He said 5,000 down and 5,000 up. By the time it gets to residential, it gets distributed. So when you have 4 houses, 5,000 up and 5,000 down. So right now, that box out there, my line is, we have 4 houses on there. So it goes from 5,000 down to 1,000.8 gig, okay? And then it's 500. It's 500. It said 5,000, but he said it's 500. Oh, he said it was 5,000. But when it hits the house, it's a different story. You see how they distribute it? So they don't give you, they throttle everything down. So when you get to the house, out the box outside, it's 1.4 gig down, and he said 400 up. So out there, okay, so I guess he meant 500 there. But it's really higher than that. And so, okay. So once it comes to the house, and it was 1.2, so the modem is 940. Wait a minute, I just told you it was 1.4. How they go? Because they throttle it down. You see what they did? They go in the modem, they turn down the speed to 940. Everybody gets 940. You're supposed to get 940 megabyte to 1 gig at 1.2. But he said he got 1.2, and he only has 940. He said all of them are set that way. When they go to the router, that's where the fun begins. Now, some routers, the ports, they're on, like this is managed router, managed switch. Right. So you can change the port, and you can change the degradation of the speed of what's coming in. Right now, this is max at 1,000. That's what's in there. It's set to 1,000. The switch, I can change the port speed. Full duplex. Both of them, full duplex. Both of them set to 1,000. And you put in what the ISP in there. And I also changed the DNS so to go a little faster. And block out all that crap. All the ads, all the garbage and stuff that's on the internet. Because you don't need all that crap. Why are you wasting all that? And you don't have to set up, if you set it through this thing here, you don't have to set it on your phone. You don't have to set it on your laptop. You don't have to set it on your equipment, you know? And it does this work because Windows machines and Google and Apple, they all will see it. And that's how it works. Then with the access points here, I set all these lights are controlled by the access point. Yeah, because it's on their smart bulbs. So that's 2.4. The newer ones are Bluetooth or 5. I don't know. The new ones hook up differently. I have some new ones too because the old one is on the burnout. I have a light outside. I have a pole light I built myself. You know, you run the line under, and you put concrete, and you put a pipe in there, and you run an adapter, and you put that in. That one's not working. I don't know what happened. I think I have to change out the socket. The socket, you know, I got it cheap off Walmart. I got to go into the warehouse and go get one. It needs a better one that can handle the weather. Or the bulb failed. It's one or the other. It's weird because when I unscrewed the bulb, it fell apart. I don't know why I did that. So I have to put another bulb because she tells me when she turns the lights off that for outside light, that light don't come on. Yeah, well, the light not gonna come on because the bulb is not working. I put a new bulb and it still won't work. So I got to troubleshoot it. It's a pain in the neck. And then we got the front door has 1, 2. I was gonna put some more lights out there. I have to dig a hole and put the lines in it. Have them all hooked up. And then hook up to a back. Then okay, so how do I have my antennas? My antennas are amplified. And we have a 8-way distributor out there. So, and that's power over coaxial, POC. And these access points, these are PoEs. They have an injector because I don't have the PoE switch. I want to get one, but no money. I don't have enough. If you guys want to support me, hey, you know, I have it set up. I didn't put anything. It's coffee, KOF, the coffee donations. You can send donation. You know, $5 minimum. Now I can get equipment. Otherwise, you know, I can't test anything. I'm not sponsored by nobody. It's hard. These people here, this thing here, I used to work with them. And I used to promote stuff. It's a long time ago. I don't do it anymore because I came down here. It's hard to work with. I told them how to fix their, you know, what these things should be, and they didn't listen to me. So I usually do a conference meeting, but I'm not doing these things anymore. I used to work with them and TrendNet and eGenius is the other one. Oh, the woman from eGenius used to send me all this equipment. I left all that behind. I had prototypes of stuff. But not anymore, so there's no sponsoring. I also do solar. I had a company that was going to send me solar equipment, but they couldn't, for the life of me, they couldn't. I said, why don't you just send it from the warehouse in America? Oh, it don't work like that. They were in Hong Kong. I don't know if they were legit, because they were like a little dodgy. They wanted to put money in my Amazon account and have it sent. Why don't you just send it from Amazon? It never worked out. I don't know. It was dodgy because I don't know what they were doing. I didn't know they were legit. It was just weird. And you know, it's hard to tell if you really were talking to the company, you know? Gotta be careful, guys. Be careful who you get for sponsoring. Oh, there's a lot of scam going out there. Don't get caught. Don't give out your passwords. Don't give out your information, your private information for your accounts. I mean, PayPal, you just use your Gmail account or whatever it is that you set up for, and that's it. That's all they need. They don't need to have your PayPal information and all this other stuff, you know? I have companies that contact me to test out their equipment. Most of the stuff they want me to test out is garbage. It's terrible. It don't last. It breaks easy. Hold on a second. Hey Google, turn on the living room fan. It's getting hot in here. I'm starting to sweat.
All right, turning the living room fan on.
She controls the TV. Hey Google, turn on the living room TV.
Okay, turning the living TV on.
See, it works. I have to make sure, remember we're using the on. Remember, the on works with Google. So this is a Google environment. I just don't want it to, I was watching a movie. I don't want the movie to come on. Well, I know how to do it. I can stop the audio. Let's see, I don't want it to come on. Let's see. Hey Google, turn off the living room TV.
Got it. Turning off the living TV.
Okay, she turned it off. Good, I didn't have to do nothing. So the way this works is when she turns the TV on, the surround sound Sony comes on. That's 7.2. At the time, that's what I could get. I got two of the exact duplicate things. Then I have a 250 subwoofer with the large 12-inch subwoofer. It's facing downward, so it's firing down. Then you have to put some tiles, and you go like that. So the bass reflect works better. That's a very powerful. That's a Jensen. They don't make that anymore. I got that from Service Merchandise. See, before we had Amazon, we would go down to a warehouse and look up in the computer and order what you want, and it would go to the back, and the guy would put it on the belt and push it to the front if they had it in stock. Yeah, so I got that. That's what I have. I have that still. I had that a long time. You know how many years I had that? Holy cow, and it still works. I'm lucky. It still works. And then I got I bought a Yamaha system. It's funny. The speakers are only 4 ohms, but the subwoofer was 100 watts. But it's front mounted. And it's 8 ohms, so it's 100 watts. It's small for a master bedroom. I don't need a big, powerful. This one here, I have 8 speakers in the subwoofer. See, you see what I got here? I got 2 here. I got 2 here. And how do I have those mounted? They're not mounted on the wall. No, they're not mounted on the couch. They're mounted on a stand. I bought 2 stands from Amazon. I think they're for laptops. I don't know. It's a tripod stand. Like I had this on. They're heavy duty. There's 2 mounts. They spread out. I can tilt it because you want the speaker to go up like this. Because I had them like this, but they go up, and then it has 2 speakers in the back. I got these. These are 2-ways. They're good. Then I got I had a Radio Shack Omniplex. Because I used to be a manager of Radio Shack. Oh yeah, that's a long time. And Tandy computers. I don't know, I was going back too far. I don't want you guys to think I'm too old. But anyway, that burned out. That was liquid cooled tweeters. Python tweeters. Oh, it was perfect. It blew out. It didn't work no more. And since Radio Shack is gone. So I went on Amazon. I found one I got for $39. It had a lot of features. Now you said $39 center channel. But it's good. Oh my God. It is good. It can be the cover. It has 2 speakers in there, and it has 2 port and it's 2 tweeters. It works. It's great. It's pin sockets. You just push the pin there and you push it in. It's not bad. I forget how many watts it handles. I used to have good speakers. I used to have that Jensen subwoofer. I had Jensen box 8-way I think it was 8-way. They were big and they had powerful. They were so big that they would go on the side. I left those. I left those behind. I should have took those with me. Can't get those anymore. I don't know. But hey, this is an update to things. Oh yes, the smartwatch. Amazon sent me the wrong band. It's supposed to be 20 millimeter. Ain't no 20 millimeter. It's like between 18 and 19. It's small. They said they wanted me to send me another one. The person in the warehouse, they didn't give me. They do that. They make a mess up. I had to send it back. It's a hassle to send it back. No, I'm not. No. You know what I'm gonna do? I want to get the NX3. I think it's called the military sport one. But if you guys want to donate and want to get one and send it to me, let me know. Or you just donate and I'll go get it. Order it. Now Walmart had them for $17. They're sold out. Right? Shouldn't tell you where I get my stuff from. But, hey, there's not much you can do. I'm not ordering anything from AliExpress. I don't know if I'll get it. It might take a long time to get. I don't know. I don't want to get, and I would use, I'll use PayPal. If you guys want to donate to PayPal, I'll just order from PayPal. But, like I said, I'm not gonna, And then look like you end up paying more for it. If you order it through Walmart and the third-party vendor is in California, it comes out of China. You have to wait. I ordered something from Amazon that way. It was supposed to be 2 days. It took a part for the kitchen sink. It took 2 months to get here. It's ridiculous. Then what happened is they sent it to New Jersey and then they sent it to me here. Oh my God, it's terrible. Yeah, you're right. I hope it works. It's not a I need a faucet socket so when I turn the filter on, the valve is not plastic. Because the valve it's plastic, it breaks. Why would you make a chrome filter valve plastic? Does that make sense? Oh, how's my network? This is running flawlessly. Oh yeah, up here I have PYLE. This is PY USA power conditioner. This company's crazy. I told them I have 5 of these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those in the house. They were like $50 each. I know that's a lot of money, but that's a good deal. These filter out not only the EMI, the EMF, all noise. It's also a surge protector. It's 1800 watts. It has a thick cable to handle everything. You don't want a thin cable. I have I forget how many gauge cable that is. I forget, but it's thick, so it's able to handle everything. Everything's plugged into that, so that clears the line. So these things run much better. All the network equipment. I got them for my studio with because I have a mixer and I have studio studio speakers. I actually got a studio subwoofer. That's the only thing I forgot. I didn't get. Then I would have that boom, 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 boom. Because I make my own music, and go boom, 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 boom. But I can I remastered my song so we have much better sound now. But it's better to have that boom, boom, boom. You know how it is in your SUV and stuff like that. But anyway, I got these power conditioners on everything. They're hooked up to everything. Much better. You got that static in the line. You ever hear that static? You usually hear in a car radio, some stereos, or that that's kind of noise. It sounds a weird noise. That takes away, that filters everything out. That's a power conditioner. Where you get this? Well, Amazon has these. This company wanted me to do a review, but they were supposed to send me a gift. They didn't send me no gift. I told them I'm doing no review then. Did you do the review? I removed the review because you didn't send me what you promised. So, you gotta be careful with those companies. So there's nothing wrong with this. They have other ones that have more ports. They have one that has 9, and some have extended cables like this. When you get this, get one of these. What is this? You have to get the same gauge. This is oh God, I kind of forgot what the heck this is. Yeah, let's see. 16 is too thin. It's gonna be 14 gauge wire. But they're not using 14. I think they're using 18 gauge on that. No, wait. 14 is thicker. 16 is thinner. 12 gauge. It could be 12. Or, no, it's 10 gauge on that. Oh, no, maybe it's 8 gauge. I don't know. But these are what you want to use. So this is 3-pin prong ground. You can plug in device in here and put it on here. This helps you if you have something that's bulky. I don't have any more plugs. So, okay, say you put this in there, and see how big this is? This is how big this brick is? See how big it is? Now, you can't go like this because the plugs are like this. See? So, you have to go like this, and then this will take up too many plugs. So, if you plug this in, right? And let's plug in normally, and then you plug this in like so. Then you can put more, you see? And these are cheap. Holy cow. You know how much Home Depot is selling these for? They're so cheap. I don't know how much they are now, but they were cheap. I bought a whole bunch of them. So it's just like that. You can do that in your bathroom too. Or you want to hook up more things. You don't want to overload that though. So that's 1800 watts. How long will that last? It's been I have that since I think 2022 around that. I think that's when I got the old. Majority of them came from a Walmart vendor online out of California. He was happy. He said, "Thank you for the order." He sent them all. And that was a good deal. Because at the time, Amazon was too expensive. And if you got Walmart's Plus, I think it's $12 for it. You know, that's if you order a lot of stuff from Walmart. You know. Now, if you guys want me to order things, support the channel by donating. You know, tell me what you want me to get, and I'll get it, and send the money for it. All right, and I'll get it, and we'll test it out. You know, if you want me to get the Verizon Xfinity, help me with the $50 every month for it, because that's how much it is. Yeah. I need to get back to work. I had to take off some time. I hurt my leg got hurt. Yeah, I'm all right now. I'm a self-heater, but it takes time to heal. But hey, thanks for watching, and do support the channel by subscribing. I know that you guys come on. This channel should hit 1,000. We have videos that are over 6,000, 7,000. I should have asked back then, but I'm pushing it now because you know, everything helps. Hey, I do appreciate it. Okay. You take care. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll help you. Oh, by the way, before I go, those of you that have the Gateway, hey Google, turn off the living room fan.
Sure, turning the living room fan off.
Those of you who have the Gateway laptop with the 2-in-1 touch and it's not working, the good, I think it's called Goody Kink, whatever it's called, touchscreen. You go into the BIOS. It's buried in there, and you disable it. Then you don't have to worry about the screen acting weird, or you brushing your hand up against it. You know, it's a shame that doesn't work properly. And there's nothing much you can do with the driver. I have a driver for it, but there's really no support for that. And Windows 11 doesn't really support. They have a lot of problem with the 2-in-1 touchscreens because a lot of people didn't want it. You know, I understand what they did it for. They give you a tablet and they give you a laptop feature, and that was the selling point. That was $20 more for that at Walmart. It's not a bad laptop. You get a good screen. You don't get a matted, washed-out screen. There was another gentleman asking me about the 14-inch, how to increase memory. You can't. That company, the GPU company that makes these gateways, they don't give you. There's no option to change. If you were good with soldering, you could put another RAM on top of it. But you know, if you do that, the resistors and everything in the board might not accept that. So I wouldn't chance it. I want to know if I could change the NIC and take the NIC out of it. I don't know if it's soldered in and stick another NIC card in there. Because that AO211N, they have it in all of them, except unless you get the one with the Ryzen one in there, chip processor, you know, and then 16 gig of RAM. But I don't know. There's not really much choices. I have an Acer Chromebook, same size, same thing, same processor, but it gets hot too. I have to put a cooling fan on that. I use that to Chromecast movies and watch them on my TV in the living room or the master bedroom. Works great. You just have a little trick to it, but it's great. I don't know where I got the movies from, but it works. But you can watch anything you want to watch from the internet. You can stream it. Yep, it works perfectly. Okay. Hey, you guys take care now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care now. Stay tuned. Another video will come out soon, but I make videos when I can. Okay. I just wanted to show you how my setup is. Okay. An access point's up there. I can show you my access point. Hold on. Ooh. Can you see it? Hey Google. Oh, there it is. See it now? There it is. It looks nice. It looks cool at night. That's it. Hey Google, turn off the living room lights. Or I can say, no. Hey Google, don't. Hey Google, set the living room lights to blue.
I understood. Set the living room lights to blue. Is that right?
Yes. See it? It's glowing green. See it there? See it? There it is. See it? See, blue is more relaxing when you want to sleep, and you can see how my network works. Hey, when I'm playing a game or I'm using that thing, the lights light up so fast. But anyway, hey, I'll let you guys go, okay? Hey, Google, turn off the living room lights, and then we end the video.